What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Endure, Believe, Rise. I hope this message reaches you in good energy. I hope you and your loved ones are in good health. So today, I wanted to talk about awareness, reflection, checking yourself. So let's get into it because we have an awesome quote here today. Quote of the day: the first step towards personal freedom is awareness. We need to be aware that we are not free in order to be free. We need to be aware of what the problem is in order to solve the problem. Don Miguel Ruiz, Song of the Day, Three Little Pigs by Joyner Lucas. So there are no mincing of words with this quote. There are no analogies here other than to solve a problem, you have to be aware of a problem. It sounds very simple. It sounds very plain, but you don't understand how complex it really is. So many people are walking around with issues that they think aren't issues, with conflicts that they don't think are conflicts, with problems that they don't think are problems. And the first step to solving any problem, the first step of getting over any hurdle, the first step of accomplishing any goal is to first admit that there is a problem, is to first admit that there is an obstacle, is to first admit there's a goal that needs to be accomplished. If you can't be honest with yourself in that regard, nobody else will be able to help you, and you won't even be able to help yourself. You have to start by admitting, self, we have an issue here. Self, we have a problem. And it's not fun, and it doesn't feel good, and it is going to be a bitter pill to swallow to say, I'm not the person that I'm supposed to be. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not acting how I'm supposed to act. But it is necessary to be living in reality. It is necessary to be honest with yourself. You can't be honest with yourself. Nobody else can either. You can't be honest with anybody else. And awareness is something that I think a lot of people are lacking. Awareness is something that I think is missing in a lot of formulas, a lot of cultures, a lot of circles. Just admitting and being honest that something needs to be fixed. It's broken. You know, there's a reason that in the Christian community, we say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people that he doesn't even exist. Because how can you fight a problem when you don't think there is one? When you think what we see is the only thing that matters, when you think what we see is the only power we have, when you think what we see is the only battle we're fighting. And that's what the enemy wants to do to you. Your opponent, your ops, they want to convince you there's nothing wrong with where you're at. There's nothing wrong with what you've become. There's nothing wrong with your thinking. You're fine. You're okay. Who is someone else to come in and tell you that you got a problem that you need to improve? These are the thoughts that infest your mind and your heart when someone tries to tell you, hey, you're tripping. Hey, you wilding out. Hey, you need to get a grip. And it's also something that I preach in going back to briefly anyway, about the inner circle, about the confidant, about somebody that can tell you, look, bro, sit down. Take a breather, because right now you are out of character. You are out of bounds. You are about to act or do or say something that you're going to regret. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have somebody who can check them. And at the end of the day, you need to be able to check yourself. And if you can't, which a lot of us can't, we also need to have someone there who can check the self that checks the self, if that makes sense. So I wanted to definitely highlight that, because there are so many people who want things and that want to accomplish goals. They don't realize that their strategy and their plan has many flaws in it. Their awareness is lacking. You know, their sense of what things should be is not correct. It's one of the reasons why we have such a divide in this country now, not because of our beliefs, but because our awareness is going up. People are waking up, people are realizing, Houston, we have a problem here. There's an issue. Things aren't the way that they should be. So when you have more people agreeing that things aren't the way they should be, you're going to have more people disagreeing on how to solve those things. But that is why there is such a great divide when you look around. That is why there is such diversity. There is so many debates and arguments. There's so much separation, because not because necessarily we don't agree on how to fix things, but because we all are agreeing more and more that things are broken and they need to be fixed. And that's the first step to getting things done, is for more and more people to say, hey, I don't like this. And not only do I not like this, this isn't right. This shouldn't be an everyday occurrence. This shouldn't be an everyday problem. In the vast scheme of things, all the resources that we have, this isn't something that we should struggle with. So today's challenge is to take inventory on yourself. Not your neighbor, not your boss, not your brother, not your loved one. You need to take inventory on yourself. Take inventory on your awareness. Take inventory on where you stand. Ask yourself, is there a problem? Can I admit that there is a problem when there's a problem? And do I have the ability to swallow my pride and say, hey, there's some work that needs to be done? Because in order for you to be free, you first have to realize that you are not free. In order for you to solve a problem, you first have to be aware that there is one. All right, guys, I need you to take care of yourselves. Please be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.